Hey guys, this is Jeff from Sorta Healthy. I am joined by Murad from MuradFitness, and today we're just chatting. He's a well-known trainer over in the UK, and I'm doing my thing over here in the USA. We're back open for business, but from what I've seen in your recent videos, you guys are not yet. So what's it like over there right now? You were kind of explaining it a little bit before I hit the record button, but like, what's going on over there right now for trainers?
It's a strange one. I think it really depends on the trainer's personality. And I feel there's like a lot of trainers out there who are doing online, and I think they already had an online base, and that's great for them. I'm glad that they're expanding. There's trainers like me who just like to be hands-on, and I just don't really believe in online training. I like to see my clients. I'm a physiotherapist. I like to see my clients. I like to touch them in appropriate ways, not inappropriate.
Yep. I got you. You always have to put that out there these days. Just appropriate touching.
Absolutely. Nothing, no harm done, no nothing, and infection-free.
Yep.
And you know, with training, you need to be with someone. You need to see the physical aspect, but also the psychological aspect, which you get in person. But with a lot of trainers, I think their business has absolutely declined, regardless of the quality of the trainer, regardless of their marketing. There's been a decline in training just because people have been scared to train. People have lost the willpower to train, regardless of how much motivation you can get from a trainer, you can get from Instagram, wherever. People just fall off the bandwagon, and of course in the fitness industry that's declined revenues for any personal trainer, personal training studio, gym, whatever it is.
If you guys enjoy content that is specifically made for trainers to help you stay at the top of your game, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to both of our channels if possible. Do you want to be in the next episode of Personal Training Across Borders? Leave a comment down below letting us know where you're from. You sound like my kind of trainer because I actually just put out a video recently where I was talking about, I take that back, I'm putting out the video tonight on online training. It's online training and virtual training. For a long time, I thought they were both a scam because I'm coming from the same perspective as you. You know, I have a 4-year degree in exercise science, and I know that my skills are best used when I'm in person, when I can touch the person, correct their form, you know, teach them things in person. It just works better. It's pretty much only been useful for clients who maybe they just want to lose a little bit of weight. Maybe they don't have, you know, extreme goals. Like if you want to become a power lifter, you need a barbell and you need some weight plates, right? There's no other way to become a power lifter. So I can't help you in a virtual session if you're working out, you know, in your bedroom to become a power lifter. But if you want to lose a few pounds, I can take you through a good workout program. I can help you with nutrition and I can get that done. So I do agree with pretty much all of what you're saying. I think it's good for some people that just need that extra accountability though. What do you think? Is there like a day that they're planning on opening in the UK? The gyms again?
So the 4th of July was meant to be the day. I mean, it was a bit optimistic, but it was practical. They reduced our social distancing distance. They opened up the pubs, the bars, restaurants, hotels. I mean, we have a governing body that's called UK Active, and they were lobbying to have the gyms reopened. We have quite some established gym brands. You know, you got Planet Fitness. We got like an equivalent, but a little bit better, should we say? Not as many rules.
Sure.
That's what I work at. It's a nice budget gym. It just has equipment and things like that. And these are market leading. They were actually formed in the last recession in 2008. And these gyms have got a lot of talking power. They can talk the way into government bodies and things like that. But it just hasn't cut it. And now it looks like it's the 15th of July. And the way like the whole political system's been going for the past few weeks and months, even then, it's uncertain now if it's going to be the 15th of July. And at one point, they were saying August, September, October. And regardless of who you are, you're going to go, not just as a business, you're going to go bankrupt, but as an individual, trying to go 6 months with 20% of your income, if you're lucky.
Now, are they taking care of you guys in the meantime? I don't want to give the United States government too much credit lately because they've been screwing things up left and right just as much as anybody else. And I don't know if you've been following the news, but we're seeing a spike in certain states right now. The number of cases are going up, and mostly southern states. Up where I am, it's really not too bad. It's actually still declining the number of cases. So we're looking pretty good up here. But are they taking care of you guys? Are they, you know, giving you guys any incentive to not work?
So we got like a furlough scheme. So I'm self-employed. We've got a self-employed furlough scheme. It's capped to a certain amount. I think any decent personal trainer will easily hit that cap. For me, it didn't work out well because the first year that I was self-employed, I only was self-employed for half the year. So they take an average of your 3 years of income. So my first year is half a year of income, and that's the first time I was self-employed as a personal trainer. The second year I was still in university, so I was working part-time. The third year was a decent year. So let's put it this way. I got just over 1 week's worth of income for 3 months.
That sucks. That really sucks. Yeah. Damn, dude.
The gym also gives us a furlough, which is actually, the way it works is we work for the gym. We give them 12 hours of our time. They give us a salary. We pretty much pay that salary back to them as a rent. But because the gyms aren't open, we don't pay rent, but they can still furlough us through the government scheme, which is nice.
That's fairly complicated, actually. So over where I am, unemployment right now, you get $600 a week, which I don't know what the transfers to pounds, plus unemployment. You're getting a lot of small business owners and people who are independent contractors, and they're actually making more money on unemployment than they were making running their small business. So a lot of them don't want to go back to work because of that. So actually, we've been pretty well taken care of. So I can't complain too much on that front. That sounds super confusing, though, what they're running you guys through. It'd be tough to calculate how much money you would make at that point, like if you would have enough money to survive.
What it is with our tax system and that, there's a lot of loopholes where you can avoid how much tax you pay. And they're trying to help out in a legal manner, but it's penalized everyone who's taking advantage of the certain tax gaps that you can take advantage of. And it's left a lot of people, not handled well, should we say.
Yeah, it sounds like it for sure. Over where you are gyms and fitness studios kind of lumped together? Because obviously a big gym is totally different than a small personal training or fitness studio, right? Yeah. I mean, if I have a small private personal training or fitness studio, I can easily clean that space effectively, and it's not that hard for me to train someone one-on-one and not be near anybody else. Whereas in a big gym, you're dealing with bigger crowds of people. There's far more equipment. It's just a totally different ball game. So are they just kind of lumping everything together for you guys over there?
Yeah, they lump it all together. Here, fitness studios are not as prominent because of all the high rents that you'd have to pay for a studio, the taxes, bills, and so on and so forth. So trainers tend to skew over into gyms or even outdoor training. You do have studios, but they're totally classified as the same. Studio is the same as a gym in the government's eyes.
Yeah, it's the same thing where we are too. And it sucks because, I just run a small personal training studio where we're either working one-on-one or in groups of 2. And there might be a session going on in the room next to you, but it's separate enough to where there's no germs, being spread or anything like that. At the same time, we were able to open. It's been going pretty smooth so far. I have to wear a mask whenever I'm training somebody. That sucks. So far, so good. 90% of people have come back right away. So I hope that's what you guys see. The big gyms are not faring so well. I'm getting a lot of people coming through saying that they're very scared to go to the big gym because they're a little bit wary of the cleaning practices there. So I don't know if that's just a United States, Connecticut thing, or if that's just how people feel about big gyms in general. But what do you think? Do you think you'll have good turnout as soon as you guys reopen?
People who said they don't want to go back to the gym or anything like that. And over the past few weeks, they've done a whole 180. So many people have said, I can't wait to come back, give it a week and let it get a bit quiet. I want to come back. So it sounds positive. I'm a guy who just doesn't take people's word for granted straight away, because in this training industry, you get people who say, I want to train with you. A month or two later, you don't hear back from them. But I have had a lot of clients who said to me, they miss training, they can't wait to get back. And I guess time will tell. I'm just keen to see what happens. If gyms open mid-July, hopefully by the start of August, I've got my business up and running again and full steam. I've actually had people inquire about personal training when the gyms do reopen. So it seems like there is a flow of clients that are going to come in, but time will tell is really the key factor here.
Yeah, you never really know for sure. That happens all the time with training clients, right? They're super excited to become your client. And then as soon as the dotted line appears and they have to sign their name, most of them do, but sometimes they don't. That's just the way it goes. Yeah. Or they have to call you back the next day, right? Talk to their significant other. Oh, yeah. That's part of the game, man. It is definitely part of the game. Yeah, I think you guys will be okay. It might be a little bit of a slower start, but who knows? Maybe it won't be. And, the interesting thing about this virus is that if you're overweight, if you're out of shape, you're far more likely to not have a good outcome, right? So I would argue, if anything, maybe we're more essential than ever before in some ways, right? Has this changed any of your plans long term? I know training is kind of up in the air a little bit right now. And it's kind of made me reevaluate some things, but I'm curious, like, what are you thinking is going to be your end goal now?
Well, my end goal was to open up a gym, a full-size capacity, not a studio, but that full-size capacity gym, August next year. And just scaling that up, basically being the most dominant strength and conditioning brand within the UK.
Yep.
That's still on the books. It might be delayed a few months, maybe a year. It's still on the books. If business kicks back up as soon as the gyms reopen, and if I reach like 80% of what I was earning before, that's still going to happen. There's scope for that. It's more for the virus that actually, once the virus goes away, people are more likely to sign up to the gym. There's no point opening up a gym now when you're going to have reduced capacity.
No, definitely not. That's a hell of a goal, though. That's awesome. Okay. So you're looking at next year, potentially, if things start to improve?
Yeah, I mean, if I get my income back and the situation's better, then I've already put all the due diligence and steps in place before all this to actually get that going. So business plan is ready. I know how much the expenses are going to be, things like that. I know my marketing strategy. I know my audience. So it's just sort of pressing a button and getting things going.
Now you're in London?
Correct, yes.
Okay. I feel like it would be like crazy expensive would you be opening right in London itself?
No. So not
Okay.
in central London. So we live on sort of like the housing part of London, should we say, where most people live. Still expensive, it is. But perfectly doable. As you don't. So if I was going to open up a gym and the price that I was going to charge, I'd need about 800 members to break even.
Oh wow. Okay.
The gym that I work out now has 8,000 members.
Where I am, it's much smaller. So definitely not numbers like that. But damn, dude, that's impressive. Okay. Good for you. I hope things settle a little bit and I hope things start moving in the right direction so you can go through with that, because it sounds badass. Obviously, you've been focusing a lot on your YouTube lately, and we have been too. Are you going to keep working on that too? Because the issue I actually started up my channel like a long time ago, and I had like a video or two that actually became really popular. And then I put out some kind of crappier videos because, you get bogged down with training. You're training like 12 hours a day, and all of a sudden you don't have time to do anything else. And actually, it's funny because in the time of this quarantine, I've actually started to see the YouTube channel start growing again. What are your goals with that? Like, is that going to be just a long-term thing, or are you going to try and make a career out of that as well?
For me, YouTube is to try grow another audience for myself personally. But long-term, when I do open up a gym, I want to have an audience for that gym. Trying to sort of connect to an audience, not just within the gym itself, but outside the gym. So trying to take my brand globally. I want to sort of be able to teach people globally about health and fitness on a non-BS basis, should we say.
There's far too much BS in the fitness industry right now. What is your philosophy then when it comes to strength and conditioning? Do you have a philosophy or something that you swear by?
So the first principle I have for anyone that I train is we're not doing anything that you cannot sustain. So
that's good.
No fad diets, no 6-week training plan. Unless you're some sort of athlete that needs a 6-week training plan for an event, that's fine. But if you're a regular person trying to get fit, strong, healthy, and functional, we do things that you're going to be able to implement for, I say, another 10 years in your life. If you can train 3 days a week for the next 10 years of your life, perfect. In terms of training itself, it's lift heavy, lift functional, follow compounds, do your cardio, and find a way that you can actually enjoy working out rather than being a menial task that you have to do a couple of times a week.
Fundamentals first, right? I mean, you see so many fitness gurus out there they're trying to create the next big thing, and it's pretty much always garbage that they're putting out there, whether it's the next fad diet or, it's the next exercise program or whatever it is, right? But you can't beat the fundamentals: squat, bench, deadlift, all the compound movements, everything in moderation approach when it comes to nutrition. I agree 100%. If you can't do it long-term, you're probably better off not doing it, right? Because as soon as you go off of the wagon, everything's going to fall apart. Over in the UK, what's like the top certification over there? I don't know if you guys have the same ones that we have. It's kind of a joke over here, so I don't know if it's the same deal over there.
I did my qualification in 6 weeks online, but that's because I already knew the knowledge. It was part of my degree,
right?
Part of my other education. But given that, you can go to a 3-month course where you sit down in the classroom and just do it 3 months and qualify. It's called a level 3 personal training diploma. I've read through the material. I've seen anatomy. I've read much more advanced anatomy as a physiotherapist. It's very basic. And I see so many people come out fresh from these courses. They know nothing. And that's like, I'm trying to be respectful here. I understand you're trying to make a career out of something, but you do know nothing. And if you can come out of that and say, look, I don't know everything, but I'm going to try, kudos to you. Well done. But if you come in here with like a big ego, you got your qualification, you think you're the big shot, it's just not true. You need to learn marketing. You need to learn people skills. You need to actually learn proper technique. You need to know it for yourself, and you need to know how to give the right commands and cues to the people you train. And those courses do not provide a single ounce of that.
My experience was pretty much the exact same, where I came out with a 4-year degree and then I got my certification in another few months after that. I feel like I didn't learn almost anything, even from my 4-year degree when it came to personal training. Sure, I learned anatomy and physiology, and I learned a few other things, but very little of what I learned in that 4-year degree I actually use as a personal trainer, and even less from the certification that I received thereafter. But it's pretty much the same deal. You can get a certification in just a few months here. And yeah, I agree that people that only do that certification and then go get their first training job, you're a total amateur. Like, you have no idea what you're in for. And you see a lot of them over here in the US, once they realize what the job really entails, you see like half of them kind of not make it within the first few months. Some of them do, and some of them do really well, but those are that's almost like the minority. Is it kind of the same deal over there?
That's true. Yeah, it's exactly the same. I mean, if I know anyone who's going to become a personal trainer, I tell them, look, you're going to train clients, you're going to get them results, you're going to get along with people, they might value presence, you might end up being their friends. But like, sometimes you're going to go for a session and that's going to turn into a therapy session rather than a personal training session.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The amount of things I've heard.
Yeah.
And I mean, it doesn't come as part of the credentials, but it sort of is your job in a way. You don't have to give, therapeutic advice as a psychotherapist or anything like that. But at the same time, that is your client. You need to pick them up when they're down. You need to help them out a little bit with their personal problems as a human being, but also maintain that professionalism and actually sticking to the training, sticking to the nutrition, and keeping your clients on board rather than just turning into a pity party for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had so many clients over the years try and turn, training sessions into therapy sessions. And it's always kind of a fine line that you're walking. There's only so much you can do. And then obviously you have to focus on the workout, right? They're there to accomplish a goal, whether it's to lose weight or get stronger, whatever the goal may be, right? So you only have so much time with that client. You have to maximize that time as best as you possibly can. I saw a meme for that recently, like what my friends think I do as a trainer, what my mom thinks I do as a trainer, what I actually do as a trainer. And it's like just some therapy session. That's literally what the job is sometimes. I'll tell you what's happening in the US right now. We basically have two groups of people. We have the group of people that kind of wants lockdown to go on longer because they don't feel like it's safe to return to, everyday life. And then we have the group of people that they just want everything to go back to the way it was before, and they want lockdown to end and all businesses to reopen. Is it kind of like that in the UK? Is it as divided over there?
I've seen over the past few weeks that ratio, it's exactly the same, it's divided, but that ratio has moved. At the start, it was 80% of people want the lockdown to stay as long as it's possible. It's better for us. We have a chilled out life. We need to stay indoors because it's unsafe. Now it's flipped. I think 20% of people want to stay indoors, and most people actually want to get out, work, progress their careers, their livelihoods. It's literally changed over the past 10 days.
That actually sounds pretty much the same as what's going on over here. I take it back. I have one more question. What do you think? Do you think things should go back to the way they were before lockdown? Or would you keep it locked down a little bit longer to keep everybody safe? Or where do you stand on the whole thing?
Honestly, people might disagree, but I think it should. We should start easing lockdown as we are doing right now. I've got friends who are not getting treatment from hospitals. They got cancer they need to treat. Sure. I know people who are losing their jobs and all that. So there's a fine line to things right now.
I think the answer is somewhere in the middle, right? I don't think either group is entirely right or wrong. But yeah, I think at this point, you kind of have to you have to reopen, because I think at some point the economic disaster becomes almost greater than the disease itself, right? And I think we're kind of starting to see a little bit of that. Maybe that's why everyone's going crazy. But yeah, no, I hear you. Thanks for doing this, and keep up the awesome content. If you haven't, if you haven't seen Murad's fitness YouTube channel, it's just Murad Fitness, right?
That's it. That's correct. Yeah.
Check it out. He's putting out some awesome content, you know, in regards to the gym's reopening, just a bunch of good fitness content in general. Yeah, man. Thanks again for doing this.
Wicked, Jeff. Hope to catch you soon.